Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by Betting Pros. You know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really real, Villarreal. Terrell from Virginia here at your service. All right. Nice 2-1-1 day in the association. We had a couple of plays in the Celtics Warriors game. Jason Tatum, top point scorer, minus 130. That came through. Tatum started off slow, but then he really got the cooking towards it late. But it didn't matter. The Warriors still get the win. And shout out to Trace Jackson Davis for getting over his points. So we hit JT. We hit very, very good narrative play, by the way, for JT to get top point scorer. He did end up going over his 30 and a half too, so we could have played that. That would have worked. Uh I actually don't know if he got over the threes. Did he end up getting over the threes? That's something I'm gonna have to look at. But nonetheless, we was debating top point scorer, just taking the regular points, and ended up he did finish as the top point scorer in the game, and they got a loss, which is always fine with me as a Celtics hater. So very cool with JT. JT did get over his 4.5 threes as well. He was 5 for 10 from three. So uh, any narrative streak that we played with JT would have hit, and so I'm glad. That's good. Nonetheless, we still got top point scorer. Steph made it very scary for us at one point, but JT came through. Trace Jackson Davis came through with 8 points. We cashed his over 7.5 points. The New York Knicks let down. What a letdown spot against the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks get up. I should have, you know what? I should have taken into account the fact that the Atlanta Hawks want to be little brother to the New York Knicks so bad. So bad they want to be little brother. So they get up for this spot. Brunson couldn't hit a shot early on in the game. The Knicks offense was discombobulated for a good portion of it. They started pulling it together in that second half, but just not enough. Not enough, especially in the end at the end of the game. Like they just completely blew that game. They were in the driver's seat, potentially to win the game. They just had to put together a couple of scoring possessions, and they weren't able to do it. And it was just really blowing me how many times that they just could not put the ball in the basket so close to the total. So they don't end up getting over the team total. And then we push the Clippers game. The Clippers and the 76ers had the Clippers on the money line in the first half with such a short spread. They ended up not covering, tied that first half. So that pushes. And then they destroy them in the second half, and it's not even close. I mean, I got cute. I got cute. I took the first half. I should have just stuck with it, played the full game, but I was very, very nervous of this Clippers squad in the fourth quarter. So all right, it's fine. 2 in 1 day is still profit. Still profit. I have 2 picks on a Thursday, short slate on Thursday, only 3 games in the NBA. I have 2 picks that I want to get to there. But before I talk to you about that, got to remind you to get into that Discord, get into that Betting Pros Discord, bettingpros.com/chat. Well, the weekend is on the way, so you know that we don't have weekend shows. You have that opportunity to just help grow the community in the Discord. You can drop your favorite plays in Discord. You can help communicate. We'll be breaking down games, and you can ask questions, all of that. It's a whole big family, like just a bunch of degenerates that love betting NBA. Or if you want to talk NFL, or you want to talk in the Daily Juice, or you want to talk all of that other stuff, you can do it in the Discord. It has something for everybody. So make sure you get into the chat, bettingpros.com/chat to get into that. That is the bettingpros.com/chat to get into that Discord and join our community. Come on, bettingpros.com/chat. All right, let's get into it. 2 plays for in the NBA for a Thursday. Play number 1. Let me take you. Let me take you. As my good friend Kobe, aka the dancer base, would say, let me take you to a place down under. Because the Utah Jazz are playing the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. Line's currently sitting at 229.5. The Milwaukee Bucks have been horrible defensively. So have the Utah Jazz. This has been really bad. When you look at these two teams, oh, I mean, it's looking more bloody than a Bloody Mary. You have the Utah Jazz, who are 26th in the NBA in opponents' points per game, 119.5, really 119.6 points per game. You have the Bucks, who are giving up 118.2, 22nd in the NBA. Defensive rating isn't even better, 22nd and 24th in the NBA, respectively, for those two teams. Where they struggle on the glass, and rebounding, offensive rebounding percentage is really, really bad for the Milwaukee Bucks here. But unfortunately, the Jazz aren't too good in stopping teams from allowing offensive rebounds. And so I think that there will be actually room for second chance points. The Jazz are a very, very good offensive rebounding team. Uh, and it's gonna be on the fact of, hey, how fast can these two teams push the pace? Because these two teams are top 10 in pace. The Jazz are sixth in pace. The Bucks are eighth in pace, and which is crazy because this just doesn't seem like the makeup of this Bucks team to be pushing the pace and not playing defense. But yet, here we are with Doc Rivers, and this is exactly what he has them doing. And so both of these two teams give up a bunch of points off the turnovers. The Utah Jazz are very bad in second chance points, so I think the Bucks are going to be able, while they are not great at rebounding, when they do get the opportunity, I think that they are going to be able to put the ball in the basket and on their extra possessions for both teams, to be honest. And then in transition, just off capitalizing off of the turnover and fast break. Both of these two teams very, very bad in transition. I mean, all of this, there's every single defensive metric that you could think of. These two teams are pretty much bad at it, and it's not good. I'm expecting Laurie Marketing to play in this game, so I think that's going to help us. You look at the over under records, and both of these two teams have trended under 3 and 4 for both of them over the course of the season. But I think that's also why we're getting a little bit of a shorter number here. I would expect it to see two teams that are as bad defensively as these two teams are, and this total to be a little bit higher, maybe 231, maybe 232, and maybe it gets there by the end of the game. Not by the end of the game, I'm sorry, but by the end of the day. And so, I mean, it's clear cut here. You take two bad defensive teams, two teams that love to push the pace, two teams that can get out and score in transition, and you take them to go over. So I like these two teams over 229.5 points in the Utah Jazz and the Milwaukee Bucks game. I think this is a desperation game for the Milwaukee Bucks. And while the Jazz are going to be able to capitalize on that Bucks defense, the Bucks aren't just going to go away and let the Jazz just do whatever. They've lost 6 straight at this point. So I think the Bucks are going to go out there and be able to score. And I think the Jazz will be able to return serve with how bad the Bucks are defensively. So give me an over in the Utah Jazz and Milwaukee Bucks game, over 229.5. That is play number one. Play number two, I'm going to take you over to the BettingPros app. Make sure you get that BettingPros app wherever you get your apps, in the App Store, Google Play Store, Android Store, wherever store. And I have shout out to the prop bet cheat sheet. It had a play. I saw it and I immediately loved it because I have not bet this guy all season. And I'm wondering why, because he is so good. Shout out to Denny Avdia for the Portland Trailblazers as he goes to play the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. Spurs laying 4.5, 217.5 is the total. I really like Denny Avdia here on the point. I'm sorry, not the points. On the rebounds and assists, Denny Avdia currently has a rebounds and assist line of 8.5. Betting Pros has him projected on the prop bet analyzer to go over. They have him set for 10.9 rebounds and assists this game. Now, this is where you got to use the prop bet cheat sheet and the prop bet analyzer because you got to do your research. You got to look deeper. So, yes, Denny Avdi has been really, really good to this line of 8.5. In fact, he's been over this in 10 of his last 15 games. Now, this season, he has been 3-5 to this prop. However, looking deeper, they started him off really, really heavy on the rebounds and assists in the beginning of the year. He started out 10.5. He finished with 9. 11.5. He finished with 12. 10.5. He finished with 9. Then you go back and you look, and he has another 9.5, finished with 12, another 8.5, finished with 9. he has been under his prop in 5 of the 8 games this season. He has been over this line of 8.5 in 5 of the 8 games this season. So you got to look a little deeper there. This line has come down 2 points from the beginning of the season where they thought he should be on the rebounds and assists. And if you look at betting pros, they have him projected for 10.9. So he was at 10.5 earlier in the season. They're saying, hey, the 10.5 line is still good, but they dropped us down 2 points. So there's a huge value on it. Cover probability of 76% here for Denny Avdia in the analyzer. I love the prop bet cheat sheet for this. Very good play because I do expect this to be a slower pace, more defensive game with the San Antonio Spurs just being as stout as they are, top 10 defense in the NBA right now. So I think that there's going to be plenty of rebound opportunities. And Denny Avdia has been very, very good to the RA line. As we talked about, 10 of the last 15 games. He has been able to stack up a lot of rebounds. He's been able to play the assists well and find his role within the team. I am confused on how the Wizards let him walk, but this is 100% the Denny Avdia game. I used to like playing this game last season. I'm glad to see that this trend is still going on for Denny Avdia this season. Let's back Denny Avdia again on the rebounds and assists. Over. He's been over in his last 2 games against the San Antonio Spurs. Two for two, had an 11 RA game and had a 13 RA game last season. I think that he can get again close to that number here today. Let's go with Denny Avdia over 8.5 rebounds and assists. All right. That's it. Quick little two-hitter for a 3-game slate. Not going to try to force too many plays, but I had 2 plays that I like. Still keeping my eye on college basketball, seeing how things are going there. Maybe we get some more action in there in the next week or so. But definitely let's get with those 2 plays in the NBA. We have Denny Abdia over 8.5 RA, and we have the over in the Milwaukee Bucks and Utah Jazz game over 229.5. Make sure you please drop a comment, like, make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/bettingpros if you're not already. Subscribe, drop a comment in the Fast Break Vets video. Every comment, you have a chance to win the Muggsy Bogues Anytime jersey, signed Charlotte Muggsy Bogues jersey. Make sure you get into the comment section to have a chance to win that jersey at the end of the month. Give me a follow at realreal__. Give us a follow on Betting Pros on X and TikTok at Betting Pros, on Instagram at Betting Pros NFL, and on YouTube. Again, youtube.com/Betting Pros. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.